Sabrina here from Scrappy Crafts, and if you've been watching my channel lately or following me up on Instagram, you might know what this video is about. Today I will be showcasing the new Spring Fling release by Scrappy Crafts. This past week, the design team and I have been sharing sneak peeks of the release, and I'm super excited to share with you all the new stamps and dies that myself, my mom, and my grandma have helped create. If you're new to Scrappy Tales, we are a family business, and it started as a handmade greeting card business, and it has grown into creating products for the card making industry. So before I get started showing the new release, I have a couple of announcements. The first one is that the last Scrappy Tales release was a huge success. Thanks to you guys, I was not anticipating the amount of orders that I received or the amount of positive feedback and advice I got from you all. So many of you reached out to me saying that you love the products, that they're super high quality, and that you were inspired by them, and that truly means a lot to me, knowing that you guys are working with the products that my family and I have designed. It's almost like a surreal experience, and I just want to personally thank you if you purchased something, or if you even watched my videos or liked my Instagram posts or shared them with your friends. Any amount of exposure is really great for my small business, and I just want you guys to know that I truly appreciate you, and I love that you are supporting me through this new business venture. So the second announcement is that Scrappy Tales has an official design team for 2021. If you didn't see my blog post from last week, I did introduce everyone there, but there will be a page on my website coming soon where you can click directly to that and meet everyone that way. I also included all their social media links. There's a couple smaller creators, so I think it would be great if you would give them a follow and show them some love, because everyone on the team is so amazingly talented, and I can't wait to show you guys what they've created with the new Spring Fling release and all future releases coming from Scrappy Tales. So the third and final announcement is that there's an Instagram hop happening today. So I will have my page linked down below. You can start on my Instagram and just hop along, and there will be prizes along the way. So all you have to do is follow everyone that's on the hop, leave comments on their post, and then you're entered into the chance to win one of 3 $25 gift cards. And make sure you tag your friends. If you tag them, you get an additional entry into the giveaway. Alright, so now that we've covered all of the announcements, we can finally showcase the new Spring Fling release. And as you can see, we've brought out 2 new pop-ups. You guys loved them from the last release and told us to keep making more. So I went straight to my mom, who I swear was an engineer in her past life, and she came up with the coolest cards I've ever seen in my entire life. And I can confidently say that you cannot buy any other die like this on the market. So all I can really do is show you what these cards do. So let's start with the pop-up vase. And as you can see, the card is completely 360. Obviously they stand onto a table perfectly, and then they do, of course, fold flat for mailing. And they do fit inside an A7 envelope. So the pop-up vase is a little bit narrower and taller. And then the pop-up basket is a little bit wider and shorter. So this is like a little wedding card that my mom has created. And again, it is completely 360. So just such a unique die set to have. They're definitely year-round products. And my mom even was able to use some of the die sets from the last release. And I'll show you guys what I mean when I go over the entire collection. And everything you see inside the baskets and the vases are from the new release. I did combine Valentine's Day and Easter and springtime images in this release, so it's overall just super bright and cheerful. I'm really excited about it, and I know you guys are going to want to see these cards up close, so I'll try to show the majority of them in today's video. But if I don't, you can always head over to my coordinating blog. I separated these samples into 2 blogs because there's so many. I think there's over 20 samples here. So I will have a coordinating blog today, and then I'll have the second one posted in February just to give you guys a refresher of inspiration. And then, like I said, periodically throughout the months, there will be also design team blogs and videos that I will always have linked on my Instagram page. So definitely give me a follow if you haven't yet already. So I think I've covered everything. Let's go ahead and switch to the overhead camera and I will show all these samples up close and all of the individual products from the release. All right, I am back, and I think like we did with the last release, I'm gonna start with the pop-up dies just because I know they're gonna be the most popular, and then we'll save the stamps for last. So before I get started, I wanna mention that I am still a new company. I erred on the side of caution and ordered a little bit less than I think I needed. So if you like anything in today's product showcase, definitely pick it up sooner rather than later, especially if you really like these two new pop-up die sets, because already so many of you have reached out to me saying that you want these products because they are unique, they're one of a kind, and you can't get a die set like this on the market. So I am anticipating if anything is going to sell out, it will most likely be these two dies. So I thought I would throw that out there before I get started, but we're gonna go ahead and get started with the pop-up vase die set. So here's everything that you get. In case you're wondering, this is priced at $26.95. You get the card base, which you cut out twice from heavyweight cardstock. You get 3 different ways to decorate your vase, and then you get the bridge, which you can choose to cut out twice, 3 times, or 4 times. I just want to show you what the vase looks like inside without anything added to it. So I created the star shape by cutting this bridge out 4 times, and you can basically add all of your popped up elements on these bridges. So because you're going to be left with an octagon with 8 panels, I thought I would give you guys 2 of each decorative panel to decorate your box. So I gave you guys 2 lace pieces, 2 solid pieces, and then 2 letter word dies that spell out love and XOXO. So let me show you a couple examples with the lace. Here's one that my mom created. She cut the lace from white cardstock and then she layered it behind a red solid panel, which she used these 2 dies for. She decorated the top of the vase with the Assorted Hearts die set, and she stamped a couple of the hearts with the Sweet Bear sentiments to create this really cool candy heart vase. And I just love that it's completely 360, so you can see no matter how I'm turning it, I could set it on my desk and it's gonna look beautiful at all angles. So I'm just over the moon with these 360 pop-ups. They're so unique. So here's one with the lace. Here's one I created with the love and the XOXO. So what I did was I die cut the solid red panel using these 2 solid dies here. And then I cut the letters from those panels. I inlaid the O's back inside. And here you can see that the letters have that white card base peeking through. So here I'll do a rotation of this card. I used, again, Assorted Heart dies and the Sweet Bear stamp set to create this one. So I am going a little bit slower just because in my last video I kind of felt like I was going way too fast with these samples. So this video might be a little bit longer, but this way you guys can get a real close-up of each sample. Let me show you one more. I actually created this card for Sneak Week. So if you haven't seen that, I do have a video tutorial on how to create this vase, and I will have it linked down below. But here I actually die cut the letters directly from the card base to create a really cool see-through vase. And then once again, I decorated the top with Sweet Bear and the Assorted Hearts. And you can see just by changing up the colors and the way that you add in your images, you can create some really different looking cards using the same products. All right, I'll show you one more lace. This one is very striking. I love the red and black combination. In fact, I was so inspired by this one that my mom created that I created this beautiful little shadow box, and I'll show that next when I show the poppies. But I want to mention that my mom was able to use the A7 mechanism from the last release with this product. I'm completely astounded with what she comes up with in her brain. I don't know how she got the measurements right to do it, because that mechanism has the weirdest measurements, like 1/16 of an inch. So I'm just amazed that she was able to do that. So in case you're new to my channel, I'll just kind of explain what this mechanism does. So here's what it looks like. You tuck it at the bottom and you use the same cardstock or colored cardstock that you use to cut the base. So it's kind of well hidden that way. Here, I'll show you one that doesn't have the mechanism added to it. It's completely optional, but what's really cool about it is that it pops out of the envelope. So here I'll just kind of demonstrate. With the one that doesn't have the mechanism, it folds flat, right? It fits in the envelope. When your recipient takes it out of the envelope and just lays it down, I don't know if they'll really do that, but let's just say they do. It does pop up because it is a pop-up, but it doesn't fully go into its shape, right? It's more oval-like. So you're gonna have to kind of shape it with your hands to kind of get it at that octagon shape, which is cool. It's still a pop-up. But with the mechanism, you can see once I fold it flat and the recipient takes it out of the envelope, it just literally pops right into place. It like flung out of my hands. It's just a really cool surprise for your recipient. I'll show it again because I love playing with this. Isn't that super cool? Here, I'll like completely let go of it. Look at that. Oh, that was a perfect demonstration. That was a round of applause. Wow, that's super cool. Yeah, so this came in the last release. It goes with the A7 pop-up, and I can't believe she was able to use it in this vase. So if you have the A7 mechanism, I'm really happy that you guys have more than one use for it, and I'm sure my mom will come up with something for future releases with that. So yeah, we will show you guys more of the vases as we go along and showcase the stamp sets, but let's go ahead and share the pop-up basket. So this is what you get in the pop-up basket. This one is $39.95, and I don't know if I mentioned that this one is $26.95, but you get a lot of metal here, as you can see. You get the card base, which again, you cut out twice from heavyweight cardstock. You get 3 different ways to decorate your basket. You get the handle of the basket, and you get 2 different bridges. You don't have to use both of them, but you can to, again, create more surface area for you to decorate the inside of the basket. So I want to go over these 2 decorative dies here. I gave you a lattice weave and then a traditional horizontal basket weave here. And then you also get a cute little bow that you can decorate the handle with. And there is also a solid rectangle to cut from pattern paper. So let me show you a couple examples. This one my mom just cut from pattern paper using that solid die. And here's how the basket looks. So again, completely 360. This one's a little bit wider and shorter, but you can still really fill it up. I love this basket for spring, but you can definitely dress it up for any holiday or occasion. In fact, I created this little Valentine basket here, again with Sweet Bear. This one I cut the lattice from white cardstock, and then I layered it onto some purple glitter, which I cut from the solid panel. So here I'll just spin this one around. That has that holographic paper on that heart there. And here I'll show you how this one folds flat and fits very nicely into an A7 envelope. I'll show you this one. I love this one, must be my favorite. Just look at those colors my mom added in there. All of these are new dies from the standalone dies. I'll spin this one. And here you can see that I added the A7 gift card holder to the back of the basket. So she sized the panels to fit the exact width of the gift card holder. So I'm so happy that you can use some of the last release products with the new release products. So yeah, again, we'll show some more baskets, but let's move on to the standalone dies. And I designed all of these standalone dies for the vase and the basket. However, the design team has created super pretty flat cards with these dies, so they're not exclusive just to the pop-ups. They also look really great in the last release pop-ups as well. So let's start with the outline roses. These might be my favorite. My grandma illustrated these. And what you get in this set are 5 roses with the outlines and the shadows. So here, let me show you this one. My mom created a wedding card here where she die cut the shadow layers from gray and silver cardstock and white, and then she cut all of the outline roses from black to create a really elegant wedding card. And I love that decorative edge, and then the decorative handle matches. And all of these are meant to go in the envelope, but if you want to make the handle taller, you definitely can and make it a gift box instead, or you can hand deliver it. So you can see, I forgot to mention that the handle is really long, so you don't have to make it as short as this. It's kind of up to you. Let me show you another outline rose. Here is another vase that my mom made. She cut the outlines from white and she layered them on top of some coral and light pink shadow layers. She tucked in a couple leaves from the assorted leaf die set, and then she added 2 little bears from Sweet Bear. So another really cute Valentine card. Let's see, this one I kind of briefly showed. This one she cut the outlines from dark pink and just layered light pink behind them. So I like that that's more tone on tone, but it's still really pretty. You can see all these little white puffs are baby's breath, and they come in the assorted leaves die set. All right, so that is what you get in this die set. This one is $32.50. You also get a couple stems and leaves in case you want these flowers to be, you know, stemmed roses. And then to go along with the roses, I thought for Easter it would be super cute to have outline tulips. So here's the outline tulips. I illustrated this one, and they're just super cute. So again, you get 5 tulip heads with the shadow layers, and then you get 2 stems and leaves to go with them. So let's see. I love this one. I'll show it again. She combined the roses and the tulips. So with these tulips, she cut the outlines from purple glitter and layered like a purple pink shadow behind them. Here are some yellow tulips and roses that she added in. You see, oh, here's an all tulip vase. And she used the Hello from the Shadow Box die set from the last release. And she cut these outlines from silver mirror cardstock and layered various colors of pink behind. So this is a really cute girly box. I could see this being a birthday card for springtime. In fact, I told her that and she's like, you know what? Let's add happy birthday inside this basket. So again, the word dies come in the Shadow Box die set from the last release. And she did the same thing where she cut the silver outlines and layered pink for the shadow layers. Because it's a birthday card, she did add a gift card holder to this one. And here she used a little bow from the basket pop-up die set. All right, so that is the assorted tulips die set. This one is $29.95. So after I was done with the flowers, I really felt like I needed some greenery, because if you look at floral bouquets, it seems like at least 50% of what's showing is greenery and the rest are the florals. So this is what I came up with. You saw in a lot of the samples that there was a lot of green tucked in. They all came from this set here. So I gave you guys a couple branchy leaves, some solid ones, some outline leaves, and then you get this beautiful baby's breath, which I just showed this sample, but I think this is the best one that showcases it. As you can see, tucked in throughout the roses, there's some baby's breath, and it just adds like another pop of color, and it doesn't distract too much from the actual florals, but it adds a nice texture. Let me see if I can find another one. This one is gorgeous. This one we used the Rose Petals stamp set, and she cut the baby's breath from gold foil cardstock. So it just adds another little pop of shine. Here you can see it. Some of the assorted leaves are peeking through. So they're really great for filling the box. So, oh, actually, she created a basket version of this one. So, oh, and I forgot to mention, she used the basket weave from the basket die set to create the bottom panels. She cut those from pink glitter cardstock. I just love how that looks. All right, so I then thought, wouldn't it be cute for Easter to have some tall grass? You might have saw with my favorite sample, all this gorgeous little tall grass. The short grass is from the Everyday Borders, and that tall grass is this set, this die right here. And all those little butterflies you saw tucked throughout each sample is from this set as well, those little wildflowers. And there are 2 Easter eggs, so let's show some Easter egg samples. This one is a true 360. Look at this when I turn it. You just see an egg at every angle. She added the little fence from Everyday Borders. My mom created a lot of these because I was making video tutorials, and she, like, her mission was to create these awesome samples. But wow, this one is super cool. I love these eggs. And like, even from the top view, it looks like a little flower. This is one of my favorites. So she used the outline tulips in this one, the Everyday Borders, and then the eggs from the Springtime Essentials die set. I don't know if I mentioned that it's called Springtime Essentials. And this one is $32.50. And I forgot to mention that the assorted leaves are $32.50. So I did want to create a standalone die for Valentine's Day. So I came up with assorted hearts. And as you can see, you get quite the variety of hearts here. Some of them are really cute, like this one that cuts a solid heart and then a bunch of tiny hearts. You can layer them together. You also get a little lip here. Let me show you that. So on this card, you can see I added the little lips. You also get a little love arrow. So you get the arrow itself and then the shadow layer behind it. You get some solid hearts, some lacy hearts, so just a really great variety to really fill your vase or your basket. So those are all the standalone dies, and what I love about them is that they're completely flat. You know, these are quite dimensional, and I wanted to make sure that you guys didn't have to pay extra postage. So because the flowers are completely flat, you can mail them very easily. I know a lot of companies have those really gorgeous dimensional flowers, but I didn't want to do that just because there's already so much dimension with these pop-ups. So I love that the outlines give you that beautiful detail, but they're still flat. So I think yep, those are all the standalone dies. Right, so now let's go ahead and talk about the stamp sets. And some of you guys requested that I make some different sizes. So for this release, we have 6x6 and 4x6. So we have 6 total stamp sets for this release. I'll go ahead and start with the most Valentine stamp set, which is this one right here. This is called Sweet Bear. And I illustrated this one. I hand lettered this sentiment that says, just a little reminder that you are loved. You saw that bear featured in a lot of the pop-ups. And I also included some balloons and then a box of chocolates. And all of those teeny tiny sentiments you see can either fit inside his heart or inside the balloons. So just a really cute set. Then we have Popping Poppies, which I think will be the most popular just because the design team loved this stamp. I think almost everyone on the team picked this one up. And it's just really pretty. This one was illustrated by my grandma. So many of you loved her stamps from the last release and requested more. So of course, she was so happy to help me out again, and these are truly stunning. I gave the little poppies a little heart so that you can interchange the sentiments. So you can say popping by to say hi, you make life pop, you popped in my mind, and they're all sized to fit inside that heart. So I'll show this sample again, which I think is my favorite. I just love that red and black. I was so inspired by it that I created this shadow box here that I do have a video on. So I actually stamped that heart onto striped pattern paper and I gold heat embossed the sentiment. The bridges inside the shadow box are the intricate lace borders from the last release. And I actually did not color the poppies. I just stamped them on red cardstock and I added a little bit of shading to them. It's the same with this card that my mom made. So that is Popping Poppies. So the next set is Rose Petals, and I must say this is probably the most gorgeous stamp set I've ever seen. Again, illustrated by my grandma. She included all of the shading lines, so if you're new to coloring or if you don't like to color, this is a really great stamp set for you because it tells you where to add your darker colors. And it's a really fun image, especially this one to color since it's nice and large. For Sneak Week, I created this gorgeous card. I just used my Copic markers to color that in. I loved how this turned out so much that I created a vase for it. So let me see if I can find it. So here I used the same exact Copic markers. I used this image, I cut off the vase and just added it inside one of the vases. You can see I found a pattern paper that matches exactly the colors I used. This is by Heartfelt Creations, in case you were wondering. So included in this set, the sentiments say, roses are red, violets are blue, you make life better by just being you. This one says, will you accept this rose? So if you're a Bachelor fan, that's a great sentiment. You are my best bud and have a rosy day. So the last 6x6 stamp set we have is Timeless Tulips. I illustrated this one and I was kind of envisioning like a still life. I thought these would be really cute in a shadow box. So I don't have any samples with this yet, but I plan on making some next week. But I love all these little fruits. There's like an old-fashioned goblet, not a goblin, oh my gosh. Little cupcake for birthday would be super cute. And then the sentiment that is included says, I loved you from the moment our tulips met. Now, all three of these are released for the Valentine release, but they definitely work for the entire spring season. So they're not exclusive to Valentine's Day. All right, so we have two more 4x6s, and these are Easter related. Eilina created the most beautiful card with this stamp set here. This one is called Easter Lilies. I illustrated these. After tracing over my grandma's flowers, I felt a little bit more confident, and I'm so happy with how this image turned out. So it's just a beautiful little lily bouquet. You get a little Bible and then a single lily. The sentiments were hand lettered by my mom. We are truly a family business here. She wrote, hello spring, have a blessed Easter, Easter joy, and Easter greetings. So I know Easter's a little bit far out, but I figured I might be a little too late with my next release for Easter, so I just included a couple in the Spring Fling release. So this one here has a cross, a couple individual roses, and then this frame here can fit any of the sentiments. Again, I illustrated this one, and this says, there's some Bible quotes, so you can say, by his wounds we are healed, Easter blessings, happy Easter, let us rejoice, he is risen, and they all fit inside that little frame. I do have one vase with this stamp set. So here, I colored the cross with my Copics. My mom die cut these flowers, so she used black outlines from the Assorted Roses die set, and she used pink for the shadow layer. And then here she stamped out, by his wounds we are healed. It fits perfectly on one of the panels of the vase. So here, I'll just spin this one. This one's really elegant. I love how this turned out. I love the little green leaves that she tucked in. All right, so that is going to complete the entire release. It's a big one. I know this is going to be a long video, but I wanted to showcase every sample you saw in the video. Actually, there's a couple I didn't even show, so there will be coordinating blogs for this video. And make sure that you head on over to Instagram to enter into the chance to win one of 3 $25 gift cards to the Scrappy Tales website. Over there, you'll see even more inspiration using the Spring Fling release. There's also a $100 gift card associated with this video. So if you leave a comment telling me what your favorite product is from the release, you will be entered into the chance to win a $100 gift card to the Scrappy Tales website. So thank you guys for hanging around and sticking with it to the very end. I do appreciate it, and I can't wait to see what you guys create with this release. I think it's going to be so fun. All right, guys, I will see you next time. Bye.